What up, man?
How are you?
All right, Nick, so good spot, tied for the lead through 2 rounds here into the night. How would you assess your game's been and what you've done well through 2 rounds as a whole?
Yeah, it's weird feeling disappointed after a 70, but this morning, pretty hard to follow up. Didn't have it great off the tee this afternoon, so I was grinding a little bit early on, but held it together, made some kind of key up and downs early on, and it was nice to finish the round under par. But this morning was obviously pretty special to make all those putts and shoot 60.
Was there a point that 59 came in your head this morning at all?
Not really. Like the front 9 typically is the tougher 9, so I knew relative where I was at. I had a decent opportunity, I think, on maybe the 6th hole and missed that putt, and then I made a bomb for par on 7 after a pretty terrible bunker shot. So no, it really wasn't crossed my mind, but it was nice to kind of birdie the last couple holes and shoot 60.
It's the cliche, but in terms of always hard to back up a super low round with. What's your take on why that is?
In my instance today is, I made a bunch of putts, and that's the most variable part probably about golf. So I actually hit quite a few good putts in the afternoon that, either birding the edges or just barely off with speed or line. So that was a big difference. I also didn't hit it quite as close. So yeah, it's just tough to follow up a good round after that.
Yeah. What's your most kind of vivid memory from your experience last year here, where you played so well, final group, just in it all the way?
Yeah, it was a steady week, and obviously, I felt like I was head-to-head with Scotty the whole Sunday. So I felt like the underdog that day. I was the underdog and held it together pretty well. So I took a lot of confidence from that. There was, obviously a bunch of people the last couple of days as well. So I feel relatively comfortable in the situation, and so I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
How often do you think you've played this course? Like, have you played it at all at home during non-tournament weeks? Or?
Yeah, I've a lot of times I'll buzz out and play some holes in the front 9, but full 18 rounds, I'll play 4 or 5 a year, probably outside of the tournament. But I definitely get on the course quite a bit and practice a lot here, so I'm comfortable with a lot of the lines, which is nice.
Nick, it felt like the Canadian presence out there was pretty strong.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel, and that kind of help you on that first round?
Yeah, it was great. There's a bunch of Canadians down here. I heard the anthem. I heard Go Canada. It was great. So it was a lot of fun. Felt like they were following around all day. So I definitely was trying to use their energy to close the round out.
And then what about this course kind of makes you feel so comfortable? Obviously last year's performance and round 1 today. What does that make you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I made a bit of a shift a couple years ago, just kind of seeing the lines a little bit better on these greens. I've always felt comfortable tee to green here. But the last couple of years, just have been able to see the lines a little bit better and put a little more work on there. So that's been the biggest difference. It's obviously nice to see putts go in. You don't expect to do that like the first day all the time, but seeing the lines really well, which I find is a pretty big defense out here. It's pretty tricky, subtle breaks out here a lot.
Are you a better player than you were a year ago here, and can you quantify how much better?
I think I'm better. I think more experience, being in situations, dating back to this tournament. If I'm 1% better than last year, that's probably all I was looking for, but yeah, again, I've been in the moment, so I feel comfortable in those. There's no guarantee there, but I'll draw back on those experiences and hope that'll help me.
Clearly what you did at home a few months after you were here is a big factor to what you've been able to achieve. Will that be something you can draw on over the weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of a circus out there, and it was, I think last year helped me for the Cane Open following that. And that no doubt will help me again this year. So I have a lot of experiences to draw back on.
And just one thing, they were talking about backing up a low round. You had the rare scenario where you got to go straight back out. Were you thinking that maybe this could be an epic day at that point? Like you had the momentum and you didn't have to wait.
Totally, yeah. I think that's probably the best case scenario. Again, I probably just got a little steery probably in those first couple holes. Those are probably the hardest tee shots, honestly, 1 and 2. And yeah, and then the putts just kind of weren't dropping early, and but again, I was proud of how I hung in there, and to be able to shoot under par after being 1 over through 9 is a good thing.
What did you do during the quick turnaround? I know it was only 40 minutes.
Yeah, I grabbed the bite. Typically I probably would have gone to the range and hit balls for hit 15 balls, but getting down there back is too much of a zoo. So we just kind of stayed up here, hit a few putts, and maybe that was why I was a little tight maybe the first couple holes, but yeah, I just tried to eat, re-energize, and get back out there. You
mentioned feeling like the underdog ethos last year. Do you still feel like that, or did your Canadian Open win change that in your mind?
No, I think at times I definitely still feel that way. I think again, it's draw back on those experiences and know when I've been in those situations, I've performed pretty well. So you know, I don't really look at it as underdog or not. I think just kind of going and trying to do my own thing is what I've done well on, so I'll try to do that.
You had the Waste Management last year, and then the Canadian Open and the Waste Management this year, all kind of 3 rowdy tournaments.
Yeah.
Would you say you succeed more in that kind of rowdy environment?
You know, I'm getting more comfortable in it for sure, and I think, like I said, last year, this tournament, being dropped in that environment and playing really well gave me a ton of confidence at the Canadian Open, getting in that environment as well. So, again, I can draw on those experiences and know that I can perform well under them. No, they mailed it probably a couple months later, but it was like a replica, a little smaller. But it came in this like big briefcase, like velvet interior. It was pretty cool, but it's a replica, a little bit smaller than the original.
It's not weird for your friends who want to come over and they want to see the trophy and you're like, I don't have it.
Yeah, for the first couple months, yeah. But now it's in our house, so they're able to see it or hold it or do whatever they want. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, you're good.
Cool. Thanks, guys.